Hi everybody, this is Cyrus for iPhoneAppsFinder.com. Today I'm reviewing iTunes 11. It's going to be a quick review. It just was released by Apple today. They promised to release it by the end of November and they lived up to it. Now I've been really excited about the new iTunes because the old version, the 10.x version, was so slow and it has so many glitches. And if you're in this business that we are, and we review a lot of apps and having to go through all these apps, and when the iTunes is slow, when the App Store is slow, you're going to have problem. Obviously, you can access applications on the web, so that's not always an issue, but it's always nice to be able to see the apps that you've downloaded or the apps that you have, and not having to deal with the speed issues that iTunes had in the past. So that's nice to see. Now this is, as you can see, it's completely redesigned, and it has that familiar look if the App Store, but it's completely redesigned. It's more stylish, more elegant. And what I've been trying in the past few minutes to see get a handle for this software, it seems that it's much more stable and it's much more It's a whole lot faster, and it works fine on Windows 7 and Windows 8 and our Mac. So I've had problem with Windows 8 applications not running well, but this works fine. Now the App Store is completely redesigned. As you can see, you can go through all these different apps. You can see the iPhone and iPad version. I mean, it looks just much better when you look at it. It's the old iTunes was so, I don't know how to put it, that it wasn't something that, when you look at the Apple experience as a whole, that just didn't fit there. So it's nice to see that Apple has done something to improve the situation. Now you have all these and description and everything, and the reviews are all obviously have their different section now. They're not under, they're next to it, and I mean everything just loads much faster. So you can also see related apps. I like the way that apps are now. It sort of helps with the app discovery. Now none of these features are revolutionary. You don't, when you go to other app stores, you see some of these features, but the iTunes was just a little bit behind its time. So so the store has gotten a different look. The items that you buy are easily accessible. So even if you bought it in the past, I bought a music from it's called Istra, from a music group. It was an indie music group years ago, and the first thing that this new iTunes did, just downloaded, and quickly. I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to do anything. So that's what you expect from an Apple product. The search has been improved. Let's try some of these apps. And now here's the fun part. Let's say I want to see what I've purchased before. Obviously, these are again new. You can clearly see what I have. These are some of the apps that we have reviewed in the past, and you've probably seen them in our reviews, and they're now available here, so I can download them again. The music, yes, that's true. I've only bought one song from Apple in the past. I'm not exactly the type of business that I'm in. I don't exactly play around with music or listen to music a whole lot. I do test music, so to see how these apps work. So, but and I buy most of my music from Amazon because of their cloud drive and all the goodies that they have, and my content is locked with Amazon with the whole Prime thing. So I just decided to have everything, music, movies, with Amazon. But iTunes is pretty decent now, and you can see what's on the computer, what's not on the computer. Obviously, you can see the music. These are not related to apps, so I don't want to show them. As far as, I mean, you can go through them by movies and all that, and TV shows. There's a mini player available that shows you the album arts and what's coming up next and all that. What I like about the new playback syncing is that now iCloud actually remembers the last time you left the movie. Now I don't have a movie to show you this, but it remembers it, so it's sort of like a similar to Whisper Sync, if you will, and you can start continue where you left off when you move from one device to another. So it's very similar to Amazon's Whisper Sync technology, but you cannot do it with iTunes easily. Let's see some app collections. If you just want to go with what Apple offers, let's say, if you're an app developer, you see the layout has changed, but not a whole lot. You're still gonna have to pay attention to app SEO. You still have to optimize your keywords, everything else. You still have to pay attention to app promotion. These are not earth-shattering concepts. You just the look is different, but Apple is pretty much similar as far as the way it works when it comes to app discovery. Uh, I did show the related ones. So these are all important, especially if you're an app developer. You want to pay attention to these small little changes to make sure you give your app the best option, to the best chance to succeed. So there's that. What else? There are books. I don't buy books from Apple. I buy books from Amazon. So and Barnes Noble because of the. I do have a Kindle and Nook, but if you are locked in with Apple, that's something to go with. Podcast. So the experience is uniform. It's across all the different type of content. You sort of have the same experience, and it's so fast. It's much faster than the previous iTunes. I don't know what Apple was doing with the last one. It was one of the slowest one that I had on my computer. Maybe it was just me, but I had it on 4 or 5 computers, and we had trouble actually loading. So show all the versions. Let's try something that has multiple versions. Just want to see show all the versions so you can clearly see the changes that each version has gone through. So this is pretty neat because sometimes, and if you've downloaded apps from the App Store, you know that sometimes it's much better to stick with an old version because the new version crashes or has some issues, or people remove features from them. So that's about it. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of what the new iTunes is all about. I'm sure you can just test it out, and it's free, so there's no reason not to download it, unless you have an old system that can't run it for some reason. So you get a completely redesigned iTunes. There's a new store that's redesigned, and it's more organized and much faster. You get your purchases can be played from iCloud. You have iCloud syncing, which is similar to Whisper Sync. It's you can watch your movie, then leave it and go to another device and start watching it from where you left off. You have improved search. Did I show a search? So I just searched for football and came everything related to football, TV, movie, app, whatever. So you get a new mini player that I discussed, and that's about it. Obviously, a lot of small little details and a small little design adjustments that you wanna check it out for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this preview and a short review of actually iTunes 11. It's available for download now. You don't have to wait an hour to download it. Just download it, and took me about 5 minutes to install it, and I didn't even have to restart on this particular machine. Sometimes iTunes asks you to restart depending on the version of Windows that you have. It works fine based on what we confirmed on the latest version of Mac, Windows 8, and obviously this is Windows 7. So we haven't tested the other platforms. So if you have and you have issues, you please include them in the comment section. Thanks again for watching, guys, and for more coverage for iTunes and everything iPhone, please go to iPhoneness.com. Thanks, guys.